I'm back. So soon? Yes, because I actually want to work on my game some more. And instead of working on it by myself, I thought I'd just go ahead and share my progress. So, I want to work on the procedural logic now because oh yeah, I really didn't finish in the previous stream. I didn't finish showing you. Pretty much because it was tedious, the same thing. So let me show you right now. Here is, oh gosh, where am I? All right, here is the skeletal bone framework of the ninth floor. Okay, so the big rooms, you can see these areas. Those are just places that's going to be empty. All right, so the framework is going to always be there. That's hard coded in all of these lanes that you see up here. But these rooms, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, up in the southern region, middle region, and the northern region, those will not be there. Those will be procedurally generated. Okay? They will be randomly chosen. So, for example, the code will say randomly pick port side, center, or starboard side. Or randomly pick 2 out of the 3. Let's say it picks the center and the starboard side. So that means the code will, and then after it randomly picks out of the 3, it will randomly pick in each of the different lanes. Like center, it will pick randomly this lane or this lane. And if it picks this lane, it will always be the mess hall. But if it picks this lane, it's going to do another random pick of the kitchen or the rec room, the recreation room. Okay, so so even though the framework is hard coded to keep that spirit of proceduralness, I guess, is that a word? Procedurality in the game whenever you hit the play again button or whatever. This prevents it from always being the same. So you got these random rooms popping up and differently at each time. Okay, so that's the code that I want to do work on, and I'm thinking of adding it right here. Though I don't know if I want this. Oh, I do want this though. I do want this. Yeah, let me show. Okay, so from the previous stream, I finished working on the framework, including the floors, the ceilings, and now the walls. So you can see all of the walls are baked in to the generation. These are lanes, so it depends on what room is procedurally generated here that will cover it. Other than that, if it's not used, for example, if this main mess hall is chosen, it will block this off. Well, not this. It will block this off, this, so that so that the seeker doesn't run down here and find, whoops, I'm looking to the abyss and I'm going mad. So it will block this off and unblock this. Well, it's not blocked. None of these are blocked. Only the walls that are there right now are there. And so only if the specific room that is randomly picked and is chosen and placed, that will determine which of these walls get blocked. Or, yeah, get placed. So, again, if this room was chosen, this one will stay open. There will be no wall placed here. and this one will be closed, so there will be a wall placed there. And same with all these others. So go run down here. If these were chosen, see, if oh, okay, so this is just placeholder. This is not going to be where this is right now, I think. Uh-oh. Yikes, I think I messed up. In order for it to... oh my goodness. This needs to be moved over. Ay, ay, ay. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, I messed up on this. Unfortunate. Unfortunate indeed. So I'm going to have to change the... That's a lot of things to change. Actually, no, it's just the floor. Once you change the floor data table, it'll change the ceiling. But I'm going to need to change this wall, and this wall. And then the other side, this wall, and this wall. I'm going to need to move it over on the X positively so that it shows up here. And then I need to remove that wall. Well, not remove it, but move it and shift it over to block this area here so that this is unblocked. So that is quite interesting that that happened. Huh, that's sad. Really thought I had all of this already. Because even if I move this over, then there's not going to be anything to... Yeah, see, there's no lane here. Alright, you know what? I will fix that later. The skeletal framework. Let me go ahead and see if I can start on the logic. Interestingly enough, I think I might have to start here. Create an unoccupied array with the 9th floor. Create it right here. And then set DEC to negative 575. Negative 575 is the 9th floor, or deck 0. And deck O, I forget what deck O is for, but I think it's for like the monsters. Anyways, and the player and the seeker. Then we generate the rooms, specifically these rooms back here, these southern rooms, and one on this side. Then after that, we generate the south section walls. So whatever room is placed here, place a wall all the way down there, but do not place it where there's a room. And then after all of that, then we place the seeker into the game. And then everything that was placed, specifically the floors and the hallways, they will be added to this occupied array so that I can use that array here. Okay, maybe not here, but I can use that array later for, whatever reasons, to create to place, escape items or props in the game, like desks and beds and lockers. Alright, so that's needed for that. And then that's it. So, but there's nothing here that generates the procedural logic, which says pick the room randomly and then block off any of the hallways or walls here, as well as any of the walls here in this hallway bar. For example, so if this one was chosen, this one will be blocked off. You can't see it. If this one was chosen, this one would be blocked off. If this one was chosen, this one would stay open, and this one would be blocked off. And again, for these right here. Okay, anyways. I messed up with these, but let me see. Bum, bum, bum. I would have to actually track down each and every vector location and move them over. Suppose I could, yeah, I could do that. It's not so easy, but it's doable. I just have to grab the wall, floor, and, well, you don't need the ceiling, because the floor and the ceiling are the same. So wherever a floor is placed, the ceiling will be placed right above it. But it's the walls and the floor. Once I get those locations, I can replace the ones in the data table, so it shifts these over to the right and then unblocks this wall and blocks this wall. So now we got the seeker able to run into this hallway here. And then if the specific room was picked, then they can run down here, but if not, then it'll block off this wall. So the seeker can only go down here and anywhere else that is randomly chosen. Okay, so we see where. Actually, that might, yeah, I think that's it. So you simply just go down to the 9th floor, clear unoccupied, clear the hallways, clear the walls, clear the corners, leave the floors, and then right here we get the unoccupied. We put that into an unoccupied array so that we can use that later. And then we have to set the deck Z to -575. In other words, this is important because this specific setting tells the rest of the logic that we're working only on the 9th floor, or deck 0, the secret floor, right? And this same thing, it matches with this, but specifically for the seeker and the monster placement. All right, and then this deck Z will be passed to this, which will say build the south rooms on the 9th floor. And this is the same, build the south walls on the 9th floor. And then place the seeker into the game after all of these rooms and hallways were built. And then whatever the hallways and rooms are, add it to the occupied array. So somewhere in here, I need to create the rooms. I guess I'll do it here. I already have this deck 0, I'll call it deck 0 proc logic. And I will have to move it. I don't know if I need this, but I'm going to move it. Cut this out of here. Let me see, did I cut it? Yes. Paste it into here. Alright. And Again, what is it called? Hey, Kalani. Hey, I just followed you on Twitter. Just give me a follow back. Aaliyah Mer. Sure, definitely. Let me see. Where are you? Thank you for stopping by, Kaylani78. Oh, shoot. I'm on the wrong computer. Let me see. Okay, so this is here. Huh. Hey, thank you for the follow. Kaylani78. Oh, it's the same name. Nice. It's the same name. Alright, so I'm going to keep this deck 0 proc logic is same as proc halls. Proc means procedural generated halls. Proc logic is procedural generated logic for deck 0. And that should be pretty simple. I don't think I need these straight aheads. Big rooms north. Okay, I don't want that. Oops. Let me go back. 2, deck 0. Alright, so I think I may need these, but I don't need this. Let me see. What does this do? I think this is for, oh, okay. It's for creating the walls for the main hallway and it for the lower level, the southern region. This is only for the southern region. So, let's see, the wall here is at the very south. Oh, I don't need this. I don't need it. Because, gosh, where am I in the map? Oh, that's the north, so this is the south. As you can see, I've already hard-coded the wall here, to here, here, there, and wherever there's a hallway, there's no hard-coded wall there. Not until the procedural logic chooses a room will it decide to either block this or leave it open, or block this and leave it open, depending on where it chooses. But as you can see, this wall is hard-coded in there, and this one is covered up as well. So I do not need this logic here. This is only for the upper decks in the southern region. So I can get rid of that here. I don't need to add a straight ahead. Just going to get rid of that. I do need the big rooms, but I'm going to make new logic for that. So, how do I start this? Should be really simple, actually. It's pick this. I need a variable. Which variable should I use? First north, first x north, and first y north. Last y north. First x north, first y north. Yes, I can use these variables. think I need to create some new variables as well. Okay. Anyhow, let's see. How to do this. So let's go with, this is an array. Let's go random array item. Let's drag this one in there. Okay. So it will either choose this or this. But another thing is I need to create first this logic, and it's going to be duplicated and triplicated. Is that a word? Triplicated? So it's gonna start off with this section before and blocking off whatever needs to be blocked off, and then it will be duplicated for this section and block off whatever it needs. Randomly choose a room and block off wherever it needs to be blocked off. And then same here. This is where it will be triplicated, if that's a word. It will choose a lane and a room, or it'll choose a room, place the room, and then block off whatever lanes are not being used. So if it chose this kitchen, then it will keep this hallway open while blocking this hallway, so that the seeker doesn't run down here and look into the abyss, right? So that's so then it blocks off whatever it needs. So that is how that logic will work. It should be simple. Okay, each of them will have the different. This one will be, oh no, each of them will use all three of these. Just depends on which one. Okay, so let me go ahead and randomly picks this index. I don't want that, I want this. And this is an x coordinate, so maybe I save it into first xy. Set first x, not xy, but x north. Okay. Yeah, I need to save that because I will use that later for which walls need to be blocked and which walls need to be unblocked. Alright, so let's randomly pick this. We randomly pick this. We get so we got the x coordinates. What about the y coordinates? The possible y coordinates. This possible y coordinates are only for the north, because if you look at the numbers, it's between negative 10,000 and negative 15,000, so that's only for the north. So we're not going to use this variable just yet. Alright, so somewhere in here, in the event graph, all the way down, all the way down here, we need to place that logic called deck 0. Hey, where'd it go? Proc logic. Okay, it'll never reconnect back up to like all the other decks because those are using this all of this the same procedural generation logic, whereas this deck will use its very own procedural generation logic that goes right here. Alright, so how to do this? Okay, I set the X of where I want to place the first room. It's either negative 3500 or negative 2000. I need more of these, so let me do this instead. Rename this first X port. Duplicate first X mid and first X star for starboard, which is the right side of the ship. Alright, duplicate this. Can I duplicate it? Goes right there, and duplicate it one more. Alright, so this one is possible X coordinates on the port side. I need possible X coordinates on the middle side, and then possible X coordinates on the starboard side. There we go. Okay, and then we set the mid X and the starboard X. With whichever one is picked. There we go. Like this. Okay. Now that we have what was picked, now we can do the switch on it. Index of random item will be -1 if array is empty. No, array is not empty. If I do this, okay, so if we get we get a branch. If it is equal to if this is equal to whatever was randomly picked, -3500 true, then pick the next one. I don't know if I want this logic here. I want this. But if not, that means it picked the other one, and yeah, so I don't want this here. I want this afterwards. How can I do this? Bum ba-dum. Do-do-do. Right. So after we randomly pick all of the X locations that we want to use. Then we check which one we picked. If we picked one, it'll do a different bit of logic. But if we pick the other, it'll do the other bit of logic. So we say here, if it is 3500, that is the mess hall. So we say place mess hall combo. And where do we get the information from? So 3500 is X. So that goes in there. You can go up here. Then false, we bum bum bum. False, we place we go with random boolean. Into a branch. If the random boolean is false, it'll go here. If it's true, it'll go here. If it's true, it'll pick the place kitchen. And then if it's false, it'll place the rec room. And that's it for the rooms. It's either mess hall, kitchen, or rec room. Now I need to give it the coordinates, these numbers. I know for sure they're all going to always be on the 9th floor, so it's always going to be negative 575, 575, and this is always going to be in the southern region, so this will have to be, what did I do? So right here, mess hall combo. The southern region is here, so always the Y is always going to be 1000. Whoops, where am I? X 0. The X, however, that will be chosen randomly. That X will always be whatever is feeding this X. Alright, so whatever this X is, it will be on the port side, it will be this. Dun dun. Okay. 8575. Okay, so the Y and Z are the same among all different rooms, but it's just the X that is different. Okay, so we have that bit of logic. Save it. I could go in and can delete this now. Instead of deleting, I'll leave it there. I'll just break the links so it doesn't read that. Okay. So now if we go back, we should see those areas are empty now. See, there are no rooms anymore. So these connected were placeholder rooms to see where I should put the lanes. Where I can put the lanes, these hallways. So the rooms here are gone, as well as the rooms here are gone. But now this logic places them randomly. So whereas before they were hard-coded, like this was the mess hall, this was the rec room, this was the kitchen, now they will be placed randomly with this logic. Hopefully that works. Alright, that was just for the port side. Now I need to do the middle, and then, so the cool thing is that a lot of this is copy and paste with some minor adjustments. So if this one was X equals -500, this one will be, whoops. Alright, so this one, okay, -3500. It's picking one of these. And then this one will pick one of these, -10,000 or 500. Not 10,000, 1000. Or 1,000. Right. And then I should just copy and paste. So let me see if I can move this down. Okay. Duplicate. Paste it down here. Oh, I forgot. These numbers will be different. That's 1,000. This one has to be -55, I think. -55, correct. Whoops. sure, yeah. Negative 5500. Oops. Negative 5500. And negative 5500. Oops, I should have connected the X first. Okay, and then this X, go there, and that's it. What else needs to change? Oh, this one up here. This one needs the X. Okay, I can compile that. Let's see. Let's test it out. We hit this and it should randomly pick. Right now, there's no logic to pick. Which one of these will spawn? Right now, the only logic is that it will randomly, it will choose all 3 locations that it randomly picks, and it will randomly pick the rooms. So let's see if that happens here. Okay, let's start at the south side and look at it. So let's say, for example, the port side picked the mess hall. That means it will connect a mess hall room right here. This will be the entrance, this will be the exit. And if it picks the kitchen here, this will be the entrance and this will be the exit. The kitchen will sit this way. And if it randomly picks the rec room, the entrance will be here, the exit will be there. Alright, so let's see if that happens. Oops. So far it only picked the one room, which is this one. Happens to be the mess hall. But it did not block this off. So that logic controls this hallway and this hallway. It doesn't control these hallways over here. That's for the other. That's for these others to control. Now I'm not sure why it only picks one. I'm gonna stop this actually. It only picked this room over here, which is the mess hall. Dun dun dun. Okay, so if it was true, oh, it's because I do not have these connected. So how do I connect it? Because all of these are already used. Bum, bum, bum. Alright, looks like I'm going to have to do a sequence instead. So, sequence. 3 of these. That one is for that one. is for this one, and break this. That one is for this one. Okay. So let me move these outward. Give some space like this. Put this one back. Like that. And now I do not need to connect this there. This will just be connected to here, here, and here. Alright, so now let's check out the logic now and see what happens. It should be all 3 lanes will be filled, but they will be randomly filled. So it could be all mess halls, all kitchens, or all rec rooms, or it could be any combination of mess hall, kitchen, rec room. So let's see. Okay, there we go at the bottom. So it picked the kitchen, I think this is it. Oh no, this is a rec room. For the port side, it picked the kitchen. I mean the rec room. And then for the middle, it picked the kitchen. And then for the, gosh darn it. Uh-oh, what happened here? For the starboard, it should have picked something. It should have, what happened? Let me look at my code, stop this. Starboard side. Oh, it's not even using the same. No, but still, yeah, because look, it's not even connected. So we got to connect this, and we got to make sure that it's using the right one. So let's just say 2000 here. And over here. Oh, that's why it's not placing anything, because it didn't get any of the X location. So let's go undo that. Ugh, not compile. Start. It's going to. Okay, so undo the move. Pick the X. Pick the X. And connect the X. So everything, the Y and the Z is already there. Y and Z, Y and Z. Okay. Now that I got all this is let me see. Okay, it picks 2000 or not. 2000 or not. This one picks negative 1000 or not. And then this one picks negative 3500 or not. So not would equal the negative 2000. Alright, let me see this. Okay, so we got that. Okay, so we got all of this. So now we can look if it, where do we start? That's the north, so this is south. We start from here. Alright, but we gotta go down because of the decks above. Let me see, should we go underneath and look upwards? It'll be hard to see, so let me try it again. Up here. From the side like this, we can see. This is I guess we could look underneath this way. It's gonna be confusing, but I'll show you which one it is. Okay, so it's this one that was chosen. this hallway, which means it's the mess hall. Right? That's for the port side. And now for the mid side, it shows. Didn't choose anything. Maybe it did choose something. Oh, the monster is nearby. Maybe it did choose something, but it didn't place. Okay, weird. Let me just move to the next one. What is this logic? What's going on here? I feel like it's placed it here. What is going on? I've never seen that before.
Why did you hurt them? Insane.
This monster. Okay. What happened? The sequence was done. So it should have moved on to next. Then it should have picked the middle, one of these. And if it is, whatever was picked, if it was negative 1000, true, then it should have picked the mess hall. And should have placed the mess hall. But if I look, yeah, it passes the numbers, so why did it not? Oops, let me go back. Alright, after this is done, it goes to the next sequence, next iteration in the sequence. If it picked that. But if it didn't pick that, then it moves down to here and randomly picks either the kitchen or the rec room. And the numbers are hard coded in there. So, oh, I'm so stupid. I'm using the wrong Y. The Y here is for the middle section. I want it for the southern section. So it did place it. It just placed it in the middle section, which I don't want. I'm not testing that section yet. Alright, so there we go. And same. Oh, no, that's 1000, so it should have showed up. Why didn't it? What? Why did it not show up then? This is 2000. Why did it not show up, you guys? It should go down the sequence. Once this was randomly chosen and it reached the end, either place this, or place this, the end of that sequence ended, so then it should move on to the next, then 2, and then randomly pick. Let's say it picks 2000, so if it picks 2000, then that's true. X is equal to true. That means place the mess hall. And after that is done, it goes back to sequence and nothing. Alright, so that's it. Alright, but for some odd reason, did not place these. All of them are on 9th floor, 9th floor. This is the southern region, southern region, southern region, 9th floor, southern region, 9th floor, 9th floor, southern region, 9th floor. Oh, look at this. This one is not southern region. That's middle section. Middle region. Center. And then southern and 9th floor. Southern and 9th floor. Southern and 9th floor. Okay. Okay, let's see if any of this ahead and test it. Oops, gotta go down. Alright, so it looks like it picked the, here's got this monster again. Alright, okay, so it picked this. This is the middle section. I'm not doing that yet, or the northern section. I'm just testing the southern section first. So it looks like here it picked the mess hall. Over here it picked the mess hall again. And it's correctly connected. And over here it picked the not mess hall, which is either the kitchen. Oh, in this case it's the kitchen. So it should connect there, and there we go. So, alright. So now they're all three runs are all there. Nice. Alright. Okay. So that works. That works. I just need to fix... certain placements of things. Okay. So, one trap. Stop this. Alright. So, that should be easy enough. Right? If it picks this one, that means it blocks off this one. So, we say add instance. Dun, dun, dun. Grab a wall. Add instance. Oh, it's still the same thing. We want an instance static mesh. And we want to make sure that I'm going to have to give these things more space. Oh my goodness. Boom, boom, boom. Move these down more. Move these down more. Up here, over here, and over here. Down here, and down here. Okay, so we got some space now. Okay, so we duplicate. Oh, let's put some numbers in there first. Okay, so this will always be on the 575. It will be on the 9th floor. And since we're working in the southern region, this will always be... Oh no. I have to find out what it is from here. Darn it. Shoot, where am I? Okay, here we go. Right here. So, let me... I know I already have a wall in here, don't I? Nope. So, let me go ahead and grab a wall. We know this will always be 575. And let's say, what are we working on? We're working on the one that says either one that... What? It's so random. Okay. Oh well, whatever. It is what it is. I'm starting in the middle. Okay, so negative 1,000. Let's say negative 1,000 or 500. Negative 1,000 or 500. So let's say negative 1,000. Is that correct? We have to also say negative 90. Okay, and so we know we don't want 4,500, we want 4,000. There we go. Alright, so if we picked 1,000, No, 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 no. If we pick 1,000, we don't want 5,000. I mean 500. Is that right? Yeah, if we pick 1,000, we don't want 500. So we want to block 500 by placing a wall there. So this one will be 500. And this one will be 4,000. And the rotation again will be -90. -90. So let's see. And it will be the opposite for the others. So we duplicate. This one connects here. This one connects here. If this one is -1,000 or 500, then we want to block off -1,000. And same with this one. And there's another one too for the exit. All right. Let's see. Let's just put these together. These together. Put these together, and then we will duplicate them. Connect these. Connect these. And connect these. Okay. So that was for the front wall. Now this is for the front entrance. This is for the back exit. So that number will be, it will be different, in fact. So, okay. How do this? Let me grab this, change it. Okay, so if we, okay, let me see. If we pick the mess hall, right, this one here, we don't want 500 for that. If we pick the mess hall, okay, that means we want to block off the smaller number. So in the case of this middle, these two lanes are the starboard, these two lanes are the port, and these two lanes, so we know this is always going to be the mess hall here. So we know that we always want this lane, which means we don't want that one. So let's go ahead and block that off and see what that actually is. Okay, we see, yeah, so we want to run outside of the mess hall from here and not be able to go into this empty hallway. So the numbers are -500 and -3,500. So -500 and -3,500. Alright, that's it for that. Now we do it for all of these others. If we pick the kitchen, we know we want to block this off. All of these will be -3,500, -3,500, and however their x will be different. We don't need to use any kind of wires. We can just hard code them into place by giving them actual numbers, but I don't know what the actual number is. So let's see. This one is the kitchen. So if this is the kitchen, right? Let me look at it again. Okay, so that means if this is the kitchen, that means we don't want to block this off. We want to block this off. And that is 500. So the kitchen, we block off 500. And then now for the rec room, we block off, I think, negative 500. Yeah, because we want this one open, so that means we don't want that one open. So it's negative 500 again. All right, so rec room, block off, negative 500. Negative 500. All right, that should be it for that. That's the middle section. Let's go ahead and copy and paste. Or duplicate. Place them up here for these ones with their different numbers so that we can give it some more space up there. Dun, dun, dun. Oh my goodness. These numbers will be different. Alright, so if it was negative 3,500, that means, let's move this back to 4,000, and I'm assuming we covered 20, oh, I don't know, let me see, 3,500. Okay, so we don't want to block this one because this one leads us to the mess hall. Yeah, this one goes to the mess hall. So the one that we want to block is this one. So what is that? Let's see. Is that 20,000? Yeah, so we want to block 20,000. We block 20,000 at the front, and at the rear, we block we blocked 3,500, I think. I don't know. Let me see. Negative 3,500. Negative 3,500. No, we block this off. Right there. We want this one. Okay. So the mess hall starts right here. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and it ends up here. We walk through here. We don't want to be able to go into here. So yeah, so that is negative 3,000. Negative 3,000 at negative 3,500. And okay, that's it for the mess hall. But for the kitchen, which is not negative 3,500, then we place it at negative 2,000. This is for the kitchen. That means we... Oh yeah, no, we block off negative 3,500. Negative 3,000. But we keep... Oh no, we don't block that one off. We block off the negative 2,000. We block off the negative 2,000. Oh my gosh, I have to actually go look at it. Oh no, it is negative 2,000, yeah. Okay, we block off negative 2,000. Alright, if we pick the kitchen, we block off negative 2,000. And then... Oh no, that's for the end. Oh, what am I thinking? So negative 2,000 here. But for this one, we block off negative 3,500. Okay. So now we got that. And same with this one. So if we got the rec room, we block off negative 3,500. But this one, I don't know. We block off negative 3,000, I think. Yeah, because we want negative 2,000 to stay open. Alright, so we do that. Close. Alright, so... Okay, so that was for those. Right. $35, $20, $35, $20, oh, $30, and then $30 and $20. Okay, so we got that. Now, last but not least, we do these ones down here. Duplicate. Alright, connect these. Connect these. And connect these. So, DEXY is always the same. Negative 500 and 4,000 is always the same. The only thing that changes now are the X's. So let's see. We go down over here and we see what they are in the possible X. They're either positive 2,000 or 3,500. Positive 3,500. Let's see, what are the easy ones I can think of? So these are all 3,500, which means these are always going to be positive 2,000 to block off. Because if we block off the 3,500, it's going to actually block off the actual room. We don't want to do that. So, and for this one is going to be 3,500. Now for the tricky part are the exits. So I'm going to use this to help me. So it's either 2,500 or 3,500. Let's see, 2,500 or 3,500. I know for sure that if it's the rec room, I don't want 3500 blocked, so it's going to have to be 2500. For the kitchen, it's going to be 3500 that is blocked. So we leave 2500 open, and then for the mess hall, we gotta block 2500. Okay. Alright, let's see if that logic. That's just, all of that's done for the southern region. That's how it looks. Then I gotta do this again for the northern region, on the midsection, and then duplicate it again for the northern region. So we do the sequence like this. Actually, let's do it like this. Okay, because then we can copy it like this, duplicate, down like that, and duplicate. So that's the northern region.